Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, Am I the A-hole for abruptly breaking up with my girl after she cheated on me without hearing her out? And a shout out to Martha for sending me this story. One of our 4%ers sent me this story. And guys, like the title says, it's about a guy, he's 27, and found out his girlfriend was having an emotional affair. And instead of going through all the rounds of her crying and begging and buying into her BS, this guy, boom, he's done with her right on the spot. And funny thing is, she couldn't believe it. And wait till you hear her excuses for her actions. Just it will not surprise any of you. And once again, it backs up why you find out your girl's cheating, regardless of her reasons, and they're almost always complete BS. Kick her to the curb. Because otherwise, the cheating will continue. So it starts off, it says here, so I, a 27-year-old male, broke up with my girl, a 25-year-old female, of 3 years after finding out she'd been talking to some guy on Reddit and turned it into an emotional affair. Well, 3 years down the drain. She's always been pretty active on Reddit, way more than I am. We lived together, and around a week ago, I noticed she would occasionally turn off her display as soon as I walked into the room. Weird, but she was casual about it, and I didn't really think much of it. Well, it's the little things you got to pay attention to. Look, guys, if you walk into a room and your girl all of a sudden turns off the freaking computer, acts dramatic about it, or even if she's subtle about it, or suddenly, like, you see her fiddling around with her phone in a way that she doesn't want you to see something, take note of that. Something's up. Unless your birthday's around the corner, maybe she's buying you something, even then, you know. One day, she showed me something funny in Reddit on her phone, and I noticed the color of her profile picture was different. I didn't really bring it up, but it was always in the back of my mind. It was always in the back of your mind because you were already suspicious of her, and there's a reason for that. About a week later, while she was at dinner, I borrowed her MacBook while mine was being repaired. When I logged into Reddit, I noticed that there was a throwaway account username and password, also saved on Chrome. I logged in and saw a lot of things. So she has a separate account you don't know about. Gee, I wonder why. There were posts from subreddits like R4R, Dirty R4R, etc. Okay, what the hell is R4R? And you guys know what it is? Let me know. I guess I could Google this, but I'm going to forget by the time I get home. Her homepage was also filled with various R4R subreddit posts. She had a bunch of chats, but the most recent one had an image as the most recent message. It turns out she'd been messaging this guy for a while. After a month, scrolling all the way up, it seemed to start out pretty innocent and platonic, like they were both just looking for a friend. That is completely unacceptable. You've been in a relationship for 3 years, you're living together, and this is what she does. If she's lonely, needs a friend, she can either get a dog, or, I don't know, talk to you because, there's obviously some problems. Nope. Attention and validation. Oh, we're not done yet. She had replied to him based on the R4R post that he made. They talked about their lives, she didn't mention me, shared memes, but it quickly turned into flirting. Then after they wanted to see what each other looked like, it started to turn more explicit. They sent each other several nude photos. Well, it seems like you just can't talk to anybody on the internet anymore without sending nude photos. Goodbye, it's over. As if it wasn't already over, it is now definitely over. One of the photos she sent was one that she sent to me a couple days ago. They were talking daily. There you go. Goodbye. I hope he was smart enough to take pictures of all this on his phone to archive this. So I confronted her the next morning, and she broke down pretty quickly, admitted everything. She didn't admit everything. I guarantee you she didn't admit everything. She said they never met in person, but she confessed that she had developed feelings for him and that it was a distraction. A distraction from some issues she's been dealing with. She claims it was all online and didn't mean anything, but I don't know how to process that. All that. Didn't mean anything. That's what cheaters always say. Didn't mean anything. Bitch, you've been talking to this guy for months. Talking about some pretty details you shouldn't be talking about. Sending nude pictures. I'm sure there's other things that I haven't discovered yet. And in fact, given the fact that you've been so dishonest here, I have no reason to believe that you haven't met up with the dude and were, sucking him off behind Taco Bell one day in the back of the car. I got no reason to believe that didn't happen here. I don't want to hear about your waterworks. I don't want to hear that you were, dealing with some things. If you had things to deal with, you're having problems, you could have talked to me, your boyfriend, the guy you live with. What makes it worse is she said she got emotionally attached to this guy because she was feeling lonely and disconnected from me. Here we go, squeezing in the potential that he might think he was at fault somehow, justifying her actions. Bitch, I don't care if you were feeling disconnected, you can talk to me. Well, this is why communication is key, guys, in relationships. Apparently, she's been struggling with some mental health issues, which of course she did not tell me about. And she found comfort in talking to someone else. You want to talk to someone about mental health, go to a fucking therapist. She said it was just an emotional affair and that nothing physical happened. But to me, the emotional cheating just feels bad, if not worse. So, again, I don't believe that she didn't meet up with this guy at Taco Bell. But, okay, let's reverse things. If this guy was talking to some chick online and she was sending spicy pictures of her ass, and, you telling me this girl wouldn't have a problem with that? It really? Of course she would. I was furious and I broke up with her right on the spot. And that any type of cheating was a deal breaker for me. Good for you, dude. I'm sure that wasn't easy, but you have your integrity and you stick by your code. I didn't want to hear any of her excuses, and I left to a friend's place. The last thing I said to her was, move her stuff out of my place. Good for you. So clearly she's not on the lease. But after I ended things, I found out that she's been going through a really tough time mentally for a while. So what? So every time she has, every time she struggles, that gives her a pass to go talk to some dude on Reddit and send naked pictures? Or worse? No, of course not. Guess what? Lots of people out there are stressed out, go through tough times. Doesn't mean they're going to betray the people that love them. Well, a lot do, but you get my point. She hadn't told me. One of her close friends reached out to me and said she's been struggling with anxiety and depression for months and didn't want to burden me with it. Bullshit. Come on, she had to know her guy loves her and would do anything for her. That's a bullshit excuse. And of course her friend is on her side. Apparently she's been seeing a therapist. A pretty shitty one. But hasn't been coping very well and was in a bad place emotionally. Her friend says it doesn't excuse what she did, but that maybe I should take that into account before completely cutting her off. Friend, that's exactly what you're trying to do. Excuse what she did because of her mental issues. It's amazing to me how people will throw that into the equation whenever they do something that they've clearly fucked up. Mental issues this, mental issues that. There's people that have mental issues that don't betray people in their lives. Now I'm torn. On the one hand, cheating is still cheating, but she lied to me for weeks, and it's hard for me to look past that. But on the other hand, I can't help but feel guilty. If she really was struggling, I didn't notice. Does that make me an a-hole for leaving her and when she needed support the most? Smack! Don't let her friend use the Jedi mind trick on you to get you to feel bad. No, your instincts were accurate. You handled it just right. Because you take her ass back, the next time she's feeling sad or emotional or challenged mentally, whatever her fucking excuse is for the week, I guarantee you the same crap will happen again. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You don't need someone like that. You're a young guy. You got your whole life ahead of you. Cut her loose. Yes, you invested 3 years of your life with her, but, well, you're not the only guy. Some of our mutual friends, listen to this. Some of our mutual friends are saying that I should have at least talked it through with her, anything so abruptly. Some are saying it was just online and it's not real cheating. Of course, while I don't agree with that, they think I should have talked with her more before ending it because she was struggling and seeking a connection in a bad way, while others agree I was right to walk away. Well, let's keep in mind here that most people don't know shit in general when it comes to the relationship field. Most people that are in relationships after a while are usually in bad relationships or ones that are just not really going anywhere. So they're not the best people to consult for life advice like this. I think the people that were talking to you probably liked her and, liked doing couples things and stuff like that, or just are fucking clueless. I had to distance yourself from them. She's been texting me, apologizing, saying that cheating was a symptom of how messed up she's feeling, not a reflection of how she feels about me. Well, my dumping you is a symptom of me being pissed off you cheating on me. She says she's cut off contact with the guy and deleted her account, and she loves me and wants to work through it. I don't care if you love me. I don't care if you cut that guy off. We're not working through shit. She blames it on her mental state and says it was a mistake and she'll never repeat it. But I feel like the trust is completely shattered. The trust is shattered and you can't have a relationship without it. Her mental state. So every time she has a bad day and she's stressed out, then she's going to go cheat. But that's okay because of her mental state. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with her so abruptly without hearing her or while she was in a really bad place? No, dude, you're not an a-hole. She's the a-hole. Stop thinking that you're the a-hole. She's the one who's been cheating, regardless if it wasn't so supposedly physical. No, you're not the a-hole. Now an update. This is hello everyone. I want to give you all an update since my original post. First, I just want to say thank you for all the feedback. It reinforced my perspective on the situation, and reading through everyone's comments made me feel less alone on all this. Good, for once read, it's been helpful to somebody. So after I broke up with her, against your judgment, I met her. I was honestly so emotionally drained and confused. Well, she was counting on that for you to meet her. You should have met her. But if you had to do that for yourself, so be it. She kept insisting it was just an emotional thing and that nothing physical happened. It doesn't fucking matter. You're sending nude pictures. You're talking to this guy about intimate stuff. It was only a matter of time before you were back behind Burger King or Taco Bell or IHOP, sucking as you know what in the back of the car. It was only a matter of time if you weren't doing that already. And then she was going through some mental health issues, which led her for comfort in the wrong place. Bull crap. And all this time, during mental health issues, you couldn't mention once to me that you were struggling, going through a tough time, that I could have helped you. How convenient. During that conversation, she explained a lot more about what she'd been dealing with: anxiety, depression, and feeling disconnected. Not just from me, but from everything in her life. She broke down crying, shocker, saying the Reddit thing was a way to escape her problems and that it was never about this guy specifically. She even showed me the messages where she cut him off, telling him she regretted everything. Well, a little too late, honey. Regardless, I have all the proof of what you were doing. Nice pictures of you naked, by the way. I'll admit, I feel bad for her. Smack! Don't fall for it. Mental health is a real struggle, and it hit me that maybe I hadn't noticed how bad things had gotten for her. No. It's not your job to be a mind reader, okay? She could have come to you. But I told her that's what she did still broke my trust. It didn't matter that it wasn't physical or that it was online. The emotional betrayal hurt just as much, maybe more. Yeah, a lot of people, I've noticed people that have been in a situation like that, they've actually been bothered more by the emotional betrayal than the physical one. She kept asking for another chance, saying she'd go to therapy. Well, you've been going to therapy. That didn't help you. So she'd work on her issues, and then if we could rebuild it, if I was willing. I told her I needed time to think about it because I wasn't sure if I could ever trust her again. I felt torn. I still have feelings for her, but every time I thought about what she did, it really hurt me. Of course you still have feelings for her. You spent 3 years with this chick. Most of the time, people aren't going to be able to shut it off. Some guys go numb, but it doesn't mean they can shut it off. It's a roller coaster. So here's where I landed, as all you suggested. I decided not to get back together with her. Good job, dude. It was hard, but I realized that even though I care about her and sympathize with her struggles, I just couldn't see myself being in a relationship where trust had been broken like that. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I know that staying together out of guilt or pity for her mental health wouldn't be fair to either of us. No, it wouldn't. And she'd go right back to her bullshit all over again, I guarantee. For a while, she'd be on her best behavior, probably walking on eggshells around him, and probably sucking him off behind Taco Bell. But once she felt that she was safe and secure, the same bullshit would happen again. She'd just be better at covering her tracks. That's usually the track record of people like this. She needs to focus on herself and heal. And I need time to move on and heal on my own way. She took the news surprisingly well, considering everything. So she went from, I guess, was this all one meeting? Or is they talked and she cried and begged and pleaded, and then he thought about it, and 2 weeks and a week later he wrote back to her. I don't know. But taking it surprisingly well. Probably because now she knows she has a backup. Mr. Reddit could be her backup. Or is this guy in the relationship the backup? She thanked me for listening to her and understood where she was coming from, but she also accepted that we're not getting back together. We've cut off contact, and I think that is for the best. I've been doing okay since the breakup. It's been tough, but I'm starting to focus on myself more. Thank you again to everyone who gave me advice. It really helped me sort through my feelings, and I'm glad it took time to process everything before making any big decisions. Well, good for you, dude. You handled things right. By and large, guys, your initial reaction to a situation is the accurate one. Now, when I say your initial reaction, I would say what you're thinking and feeling is the right one. If you find out your girlfriend is cheating on you, and then you then proceed to, take a weapon out of the weapon storage depot and do something with it. That ain't the right reaction. You're going to prison the rest of your life. You're getting the electric chair. But your initial reaction of being hurt and broken or seeing something is wrong and identifying the red flags and breaking up with somebody, that's the right reaction. Let me make this clear. There's reaction and there's what you do physically. There's a distinction there. But no, he made the right decision, and you got to listen to your gut and handle things accordingly. But he's not the a-hole here. She's got issues, sure, but it's amazing to me blaming the mental state behind this whole thing. There's no accountability anymore because people can just easily say, I got this condition or I got that condition, and therefore I'm excused for anything. And someone like that will constantly find excuses for their bad behavior. And you know what? There's so many suckers in this world. That girl will probably find herself a sucker, and that's that, but not this guy. So good for him. Now, a few comments here before I wrap this up. One guy says, dude, she was sharing nudes, which is stupid regardless, with another guy. That's relationship ending, along with talking with him, having a secret account, emotionally bonding with him, hiding all this from you. You take your pick, not the a-hole. Another guy says here, not the a-hole. As someone who's been clinically depressed for over 20 years and medicated, I can tell you 1,000% it's a BS excuse. Depression does not stop you from being able to tell right from wrong. She cheated, no excuses. Exactly. Another one. Any form of cheating to you is a deal breaker. Stick to your guns and have some backbone. She's only sorry she got caught and wants to use the mental health problems as a shitty excuse to be a shitty person. Every time she spoke or flirted with the other person about her problems, she chose to do so and could have easily spoke to her actual partner. Exactly. There was no her going to him saying she's going through a tough time. I guarantee you she sat this guy down and told him that she's just really in a bad place and depressed and all these problems. This guy would drop what he was doing to help her. There was none of that. And last one, mental health is a serious problem and it's good that she's getting help for it. However, her using it as an excuse to cheat on you isn't, and just a way for her to minimize blame and make it seem like it was somehow beyond her control when that's the farthest thing from the truth. She could have stopped when it started to turn sexual, but she chose not to because she liked doing it, and is only sorry about it now because you caught her. Ding, ding, ding. If you hadn't, she'd still be doing it and probably would have turned physical with someone down the road. You owe her nothing, and if I were you, I would stick to the choice and tell her to get her shit out of your house and that you're done. Using her mental health as an excuse is just an excuse, and when you could have talked to her and worked through it, and she chose to do it with some other guy and have an affair. Amen. I think that guy wrote that, obviously, before the guy had his update here. So, good for this young buck here. Stay strong, gentlemen, and if you find something like this out, don't waste your time listening to the waterworks, the begging and pleading, and the mental excuses. End it, move on, lick your wounds. You're going to be okay.